guys, Martha here. It is Saturday, July 17th, and is it hot here in Florida? I am sure you guys that live in the cold weather in the north just love this weather because you're usually having a lot of cold weather and your summers are very short. But here in Florida, I must say our winters are very pleasant because they're usually in the 60s, low 70s. So it's a really pleasant temperature in the winter here. But the rest of the year is really, really hot, like today. And so it's funny that I should be making a video for a fall wreath when we're still in midsummer, but I had bought the bicycle wheel wreath form, and I decided to be ahead of the game and do my fall wreath, and that's what I've done, and it came out super nice. I'm gonna show you how I did it, and so at least I have it ready for when the fall comes. And so I hope that you will enjoy this video and that you will subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. If you're subscribed, I want to say thank you for being there, and I hope that you will be there for my next video. I hope that you enjoy watching how I make this fall wreath with the bicycle wheel form, and that maybe it will inspire you to go ahead and do something for your front door, and that will welcome your guests throughout the fall season. I will see you soon on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now. Okay, here's what we'll need: a hot glue gun, the bicycle wheel wreath ring, some scissors, this beautiful gather sign. I just love it. I'm gonna use some ribbon. I'm not gonna use all that ribbon, just about 2 different kinds. Some nautical rope, some paintbrushes, some artificial flowers, a pine cone and a wooden bead, some paint, acrylic paints, a disposable cup, some clippers, and that's it, you guys. Let's get started. So I'm going to start out by removing the front part of the gather sign. We're only going to use the word gather. So I'm gonna go ahead. It's pretty easy to take apart. It's made out of cardboard. So I'm gonna take my clippers and I'm gonna cut around the sign. It's pretty easy, like I said, it's just some cardboard. Okay, you guys, so I finished cutting out the gather sign, and I'm going to use the frame of the sign to keep it lifted up away from my counter. So I'm going to use these 3 colors of paint: the orange, the mustard, and the gold. I'm going to go ahead and pour out a little bit of each color on my disposable cup. And here comes the mustard, and that's by Apple Barrel. I got that at Walmart. This one I bought at the Dollar Tree. It's also acrylic paint, and it's a really beautiful bright orange. And lastly, I'm going to use the gold. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a paintbrush now, and I want to get one that is not too large or not too small. So I'm gonna start using the mustard colored paint, and it's definitely gonna take a few coats because this is a really dark brown sign. So after it dries, I'll just give it some more coats. You can actually leave this in the brown if you prefer, but I wanted to give it more of a fall color. I'm going to continue while that sign dries. I am going to take the nautical rope and I'm going to start hot gluing it all around the edge of my wreath form. I want it to look more like a wheel, like a tire of a bike. And so that's what I'm going to use. Carefully gluing it all around the edge. And that's it, you guys. I'm almost done putting the nautical rope around the wreath form. I'm just gonna glue the last piece. And there you have it. I just think it looks so nice. I really like the way that turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and give another coat to the gather sign now. Going again with the mustard colored paint. That second coat is coming out a lot better. It's looking really pretty, and I'm gonna go ahead and once I finish giving it this coat of mustard, I think I'm gonna start adding a little bit of the orange once it dries. I thought the word gather was just the perfect word for my wreath. Since we all do so many get-togethers during the fall and winter season, I thought that gather would be just the right word for my wreath. I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some of the orange paint now. I'm really trying to give my sign a really fall appeal. So I'm blotting away some of the paint before I go ahead and add it on top of the mustard color paint because I don't want it to overpower the color that's in the bottom. So I'm giving it a light brushing and just removing a little bit of the paint first as I dab it on the bottom part of the frame that was on the gather sign. And that almost does it for that coat. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry as I begin to work with the ribbon for my wreath. So I'm gonna start out. I already went ahead and cut each, like 4 pieces of the green burlap ribbon, and it's about 2 feet long, maybe just shy of 2 feet. And I want to go ahead and I want to combine the green burlap ribbon with a little bit of this yellow. It almost looks like a honeycomb or like corn on the cob. So I thought that was a great combination. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the yellow ribbon to the size of the green burlap ribbon. I really do think that combination looks so pretty. Now I'm gonna go ahead and glue with my hot glue gun the yellow part to the green ribbon. You want to make sure that you line it up correctly so that it's the same length and even on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same thing on one other piece of ribbon. So I'm going to have 2 pieces of the ribbon with the yellow ribbon over it. I'm gonna go ahead and start making my bow now. And I'm no expert at making bows, but I'm just taking the one of the ribbons that have the gold ribbon over it, and I'm gonna go ahead and make like a bow and scrunch it together. And then I'm gonna get the solid burlap ribbon, and I'm gonna do the same thing and put it over the one with the gold. I'm gonna scrunch it in the middle. Now I'm gonna take a pipe cleaner, and I'm using a gold one, but it doesn't really matter because you're not gonna be seeing it. And I'm gonna twist it tightly around the 2 ribbons. Really tight. I'm taking my other ribbon with the gold over it, and I'm gonna cut it to make the bottom part of my bow. So I'm just gonna glue one over the other, and then I'm gonna glue it to my other part of the bow. I'm gonna make sure I use plenty of glue because I don't want my bow to fall apart. But this glue is really good. The Gorilla Glue, it really does a tight bond, so I'm sure I will not have a problem with that. And I'm really happy with that, the way that turned out. Continuing now with my gather sign, I am gonna start painting a little bit of the gold finish over the letters. It really gives the sign a more metallic look. I'm gonna begin to work with the flowers now. I love the way that this looks like real wheat. It's got such beautiful fall colors as well. So I'm gonna start clipping some of those out. I'm putting them together in a little bunch, and I'm probably going to use some of those beautiful bright orangey colored flowers, and I'm going to tie it together with another piece of pipe cleaner. Now I'm going to go ahead and make another little bunch just like the first one. I'm putting a little bit of hot glue around it just to keep the bunch together. Now to hold the flowers, to attach the flowers to the wreath form, I'm going to use hot glue, and I'm also going to secure it with a piece of pipe cleaner. I love the way it's turning out, and that's not going anywhere. It is really secure. Now I'm gonna start placing my bow right above the two wheat bunches, and I've gone ahead and added the wooden bead to the center of my bow. I'm sorry I didn't record that, but now I'm just going to glue my bow to the wreath form. Look how pretty that looks. I love the wooden bead in the center of the bow. Just Just make sure that you go ahead and move the flowers around exactly the way you like it. It's time to glue the gather sign now, and I'm going to place it right above the bow. I love the way the sign turned out. It looks so beautiful. I love the color. The blend of the mustard and the orange and the gold just really turned out really nice. I'm just going to use hot glue to attach the sign to my wreath form. Look how pretty that looks. I love the way that it turned out. I'm gonna go ahead and put the pine cone now. It's a small pine cone, and I'm gonna place it right between the two little flower and wheat arrangements. And it looks so pretty there. I decided that I'm going to use a little bit of the gold paint to go ahead and touch a little bit of the tips of the pine cone. That really gives it a really nice effect. Okay, you guys, so I have this brown metallic paint, and I decided to use a little bit of that paint to go over the letters of the gather sign. It just gave it an even more metallic look instead of a cardboard look. So I'm really happy that I found that paint in my collection of paints, and I think it really gave it the perfect finishing touch. Now I'm going to use a piece of burlap ribbon to put over the top and right in the middle of the wreath so I can hang it in my door. I also found these two little copper bells in my arsenal of craft materials that I thought looked really pretty on this wreath, and I hung them in the bottom under the bow, so each time I open the door the bells do ring a little bit, and I thought that gave it a really nice touch. So here it is, you guys. Here is my finished wreath. I love the way that it turned out. I love the colors. I love that wooden bead in the center of my bow. The wheat looks so beautiful, and that gold ribbon with the honeycomb effect. I really love the way that it turned out. Look at the gather sign, you guys. You would never be able to tell that that is cardboard. It looks so much like a metal sign. Isn't that beautiful? I really enjoyed making this wreath. Like I said, I had never seen a bicycle wheel wreath form before, but I'm so glad that I found it. And I think this wreath is going to be so decorative for the fall season, hanging from my front door. I really do think it's so beautiful. I love it. Here it is, hanging from my door. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Bye now.